Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video. Here to do a video I'm very excited to make. However, it's also a video that I'm worried I'm gonna mess up. But yeah, um, my John Cena shirt, one of them. That is. Today is August 8th, 2021, y'all, and it has officially been 5 years to this day since the beginning of since my Make-A-Wish trip. Yes, guys, I am a Make-A-Wish kid. I am a proud Make-A-Wish kid. And 5 years ago was the start of our 3 day, 4 days if you count the day we had to leave. Make-A-Wish trip. 5 years. It's insane to think, man. And I miss these times, man. Take me back. I still pray for another Make-A-Wish for another trip like this, because this was the best time of my life so far, and only Make-A-Wish could have done it for me. Make-A-Wish New Zealand, thank you so much. 5 years later, man, um, just thank you so much for this trip. Uh, I'm so happy. Like I was, and here, yep, this is mine. Make-A-Wish printed this out for me. Mark's wish, yes. Claire. I'm not gonna say her last name, but Claire, my Make-A-Wish person. She set up this trip for me. I love her. Uh, I haven't actually talked to her since 2016, but no, I'm not saying like we left on a bad note or nothing. It was an absolutely most positive note ever. Basically, the last thing I ever said to Claire was like, "Thank you so much for this. I value this for the rest of my life." And but something like that. I don't remember exactly what I said. I mean, this was 5 years ago, but that was in an email. And just thank you so much, Claire, if you happen to be watching this. 5 years since you gave this to me in this very house in person. Um, Not to this day. It was August 5th, 2016 that she gave me this. And man, I love this. I love this so much. I'm proud to be a Make-A-Wish kid. All right. It's funny enough. It was actually, I think, June of 2015 that I sent my Make-A-Wish application in, and then we got something back, saying, yes, we got, now that your doctor has approved of you, has confirmed that you are legit, have a life-threatening medical condition, you know, come contact Claire and we'll get the ball rolling on your wish. But here's the thing. I did not know what I wanted yet. Alright, I did not know what I wanted with my Make-A-Wish yet. I thought about a PS4, which even though I have since gotten a PS4 and I love my PS4 to death, mostly for watching stuff though. I really don't play video games on it that much. That is something that anyone can get you. Alright, that's something that you can easily get. So I was like, alright, something that only Make-A-Wish can do for me. There were some stupid ideas for wishes I thought of, like get my crush to be with me, stuff like that. I'm not even joking, man. I'm just very glad I didn't go with that. And then in February 2016, WWE made the announcement that they were gonna come back to New Zealand after 5 years. And I know you're thinking, so this is when your wish came in. No, it was not. Okay? Because I wanted to wait a little bit still. Because at the time, John Cena was injured. And I didn't know when he was going to be back, so I wanted to wait until they confirmed that John Cena was going to be there. And then, if it is confirmed, then that's my wish. And when they confirmed John Cena, I was like, all right, now let's contact them. And I think it was May of 2016 that Claire visited us for the first time, and she was talking to me, and like, so what would you like your wish and all that, and she loved how I already knew like what I wanted my wish to be, because she has said that sometimes she's visited people and like Make-A-Wish kids, other Make-A-Wish kids, and they didn't know what their wish was yet, but I knew straight away what my wish was, and and uh, and uh, and then she was like yes, and then like I told her about like how I was a huge wrestling fan, and then like she asked me what my interests were, and I said movies, and then I actually told her my favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. I actually told her that, and she was like, yes, that is a masterpiece. So Make-A-Wish are Dark Knight fans, which is just beautiful. There's so many people out there who just trash the Dark Knight trilogy, which are masterpieces. I will live by that till the day I die. My favorite films ever. So Claire loves Dark Knight, which is just awesome. And I told her, like what my wish was, and it's funny because when I told her that I love wrestling, my mom said to her, "You won't believe what his wish is," and Claire said, "Not to be a wrestler," and that was crack up, mate. And then I told her I was a huge wrestling fan, and I want to go to the WWE event in August, preferably front row, and I also told her that I really want to meet the wrestlers, but especially John Cena. Um, and I think before we discussed that, like the actual event, like I told her that that um, I did mention John Cena to her, and then she said, "Is he a New Zealander?" And and then uh, then she thought that I couldn't meet John Cena because she didn't know like what my full on wish was yet. And then I told her, and then she was like, "Oh yes, we'll try. Yes, we'll definitely try and get this done." You know, and I had my own part in getting this all to come true. I had to call, I had to contact, everyone who I wanted on the trip with me, and let them know, get their contact info and all that, and then so that they can join me on this trip. And that's what actually that's what blew my mind in a good way. I was told because I was like, you know what, I am happy just to be there, just to be there, and I didn't think I would be allowed anything more, but then it was like an expanded wish. It turned into that it turned into like a 3-day thing, and I was like, that is just amazing, man. Um, here's my here it is. This is one of these is missing because the hotel we stayed at, um, my uncle gave the hotel info paper on this to the guy, and I never got it back, which is very frustrating. But that's of course the front page talking about my wish. And this is here we go. Mark's wish to go to the WWE, and yeah. Um, so yeah, and this was the first day, which is 5 years ago today, of course. And it was my uncle who folded this up because he needed this for like info and all that. And I remember I told him, "Hey, we get a tour, right? We get a tour of the thing," and he didn't think so. He thought it was just we eat and then we go back to the hotel. But I told him, and that was actually Claire said that was someone else's name that they accidentally wrote, so they ripped that out. but this is the restaurant we stayed at. No, the restaurant we ate at 5 years ago tonight. 5 years ago today, 5 years ago at this exact time, on this exact day, I was walking around that building, having a blast. Uh, I feel like such a little giddy kid talking about this. I'm 22 years old, 23 next month, and I'm all giddy. And this was the day after, which was seeing Suicide Squad in IMAX. I'm going to talk about each of these like more in depth. I'm just showing you the papers. And of course, the main event was WWE, which was the main day. Oh man, yes. And this was I was just remembering like when I showed this to my uncle, and like this is like the day, and then Mark, your wish has come to an end, and my uncle was reading it, and he was like, "Oh, it's over." I hope this makes sense what I'm saying, but yeah, but yes, my bestest friend in the whole world, Bishop, I remember calling him to like invite him uh, for this trip, and just so you know, the last time I saw Bishop before August 8th, 2016 was about January 2006. Alright? I never forgot about him. I still loved and valued our memories together. And when I called him up, because I did know him on Facebook, when I called Bishop and told him, hey, I've been talking to Make-A-Wish, and then I told him, I want you to come with me, man. And he said, he was like, oh, Mark, I don't know what to say. And he was just blown away that I actually called about that, man. And, yeah, that was it, man. I was so excited to see him again for the first time in over a decade and a half, man. Like, it was unreal, man. And to meet up at such an amazing event thing like this, like, that's the perfect reunion. And that's another thing. This trip really changed our lives for the better. We're talking to each other again now. We're trying to hang out again. It sucks because me and everyone else who was on the trip, we all live really far apart. You know, um, you know what I mean? And we don't hang out that much. But we're still in proximity now. It's not like, oh, remember him? No, we all love each other. We're still back. We're back in the game and all that. But yeah, and I remember 5 years ago today, the morning, I was packing my stuff, and should I mention this other thing? My cousin, my little cousin Devesha, she was trying to steal the phone, my grandmother's phone, which she doesn't have anymore. And there was no way I wasn't taking my grandmother's cell phone with me, so I could record the whole trip, of course. And Devesha was annoying me, like trying to get me to leave the phone, but there was no way I was leaving the phone. I'm not leaving that, man. Um, and then Nanny, my grandmother mentioned, I already gave him the okay that he can film the trip and all that, and that was a relief because I thought for a second my grandma was going to change her mind on that, and then I would be extremely annoyed and all that. But I took the phone. We went in the car. I had packed all my stuff, and we went to fix up the car first. And this is when I got worried. All right, like I was a bit worried when we were fixing up the car because there were some problems with it. It's not my expertise. I couldn't tell you what exactly. There was this, like, I remember there was a sound or this light or something that kept popping up, and we didn't want that or whatever. And yeah, and we actually stopped at my other uncle's boss's workplace, which is a car repair thing, and he was cool. His name was Dale. Um, Dale Whiting Motors, if that's the place. He was a cool guy. I did get to shake his hand. He was swearing non-stop, man. He was saying the F bomb again and again. He was saying the C word again and again, and it was glorious. I loved it. I really loved him. He was cool. Um, and yeah. But eventually we decided we're just gonna risk it. We're going to Auckland, and went to pick up Bishop, and I saw Bishop's sister, and then she was trying to recognize it was me, I think. And she was like, "Hi, Mark." And yes, I remember Bishop's sister from when she was a kid. I'm not going to say her name, though, in case she doesn't want that. Um, but it was awesome to see her again. And then when I went to Bishop's house, just the anticipation of seeing him again for the first time in person in over a decade, it was insane. And when I saw Bishop again, first thing he did, he gave me a big hug. All right, and he was pretty big dude. He had like a mustache and all that, and he was actually getting his hair cut. And then it was so cool to see him again. And then he had a shower, and he was in the shower for like 40 minutes, man. I was getting a little bit annoyed. I'm not gonna lie, but man, I would do it again. I would do it again. In a heartbeat, man. Um, you know what? I know we'll get another trip like this eventually. I don't know how, but I'm going to compare this to Edge when Edge returned. He retired in 2011. 9 years later, he came back in 2020. I feel like, what's 9 years after 2016? 2025. 2025 somehow, I think, is when another trip like this comes. I could look back on this and realize that I was so wrong, but I will manifest that into the universe. Manifesting starting now. And when that day comes, it's gonna be after that, I want to do like an annual trip like that. Screw it, man. All right, I was not happier than this trip, mate. But and then Bishop got out of the shower, and Bishop's mom gave me a big hug, told me thank you so much for taking Bishop with you. And I was like, man, just of course, I love him. I love Bishop with all my heart. My bestest friend ever. Then we got in the car, and Bishop had this Beyonce perfume with him, and it smelled delicious. I really love the smell of that, actually. And then we're off to Auckland, and we asked for directions. I just remember this stupid meme just now. It was the meme that said like when you give somebody wrong directions on purpose and then you see them missing on the news. I was just thinking about that meme. And we asked this guy for directions. Hey, do you know where the hotel is? And he pointed us, and then we still couldn't find it. And then we were just looking and looking, and then all of a sudden, I spotted the hotel. There. And then we got parked, and yeah, we settled into the hotel. We were getting ready to have dinner, and sorry, just trying to get my pick. So, where is it? There we go. Dinner at the Sky Tower, Auckland Sky Tower. We went to Auckland. Um, let's see. I remember what was the first thing I ate? I don't remember actually. I don't actually. Um, but the second thing. Oh no, the first thing was pork belly. Yes, that was that pork belly. Oh my gosh, that was, oh man, that's so delicious. Oh man, that pork belly was so delicious. That was the appetizer. Now the entree, is that the word? It was this lamb. I think it was this lamb steak thing, which was also nice. Not as nice as the pork belly though for me. That pork belly. Oh man, you guys don't know how much I love pork, man. I love pork so much. Oh my gosh, I love pork so much. But the dessert was this delicioso lemon tart, and that was so delicious. Oh my gosh, man, it was so delicious. Oh, the pork belly and the lemon tart were amazing, delicious. And then I remember, you'll see it in my Make a Wish video from 5 years ago. Like we only drank water for a while at the restaurant, and then I asked my Uncle Poppy, "Hey, Poppy, I really want a glass of Coke, you know?" And then he was like, "Oh, don't you like water?" And yeah, and I got a glass of Coke. It was delicious. Mm. And yeah, we got to roam around the restaurant for about half an hour, or around the whole tower, basically. It was so much fun. The orbit, it was literally a moving room, man. It was like, you know, you know what I mean? It was literally a moving room, and yeah, um, and and then there was this like glass floor, like real high up, and you could like, I literally crawled on it. It was it was the best, man. Kind of scary, but the best type of scary you could ever want. Seriously. Um, what else? And then we went back to a hotel. Uh, and went to sleep. Um, and then the next day we uh we went to um we had breakfast. We didn't have breakfast at the hotel, but we went out. We ate at this like breakfast restaurant thing. Uh, Even though I would have wanted to go to McDonald's. Um, the only things from this trip that I did not film was picking up Bishop. Um, the times during these days when we just rested, pretty much, and on our way home. Those were the only things I didn't film. Um, but I really did film the whole trip, man. I really did. Um, and and where was I? Yeah, we had uh, man, I did not know that that breakfast place had chips like fries, and Bishop had a meal with fries himself for breakfast, and he let me have his fries. Man, man, just just reinforcing my love for him. And then we went to this arcade, and I was not allowed to film at that arcade. By the way, this was 5 years ago. Tomorrow, by the way, August 9th. August 9th, 2016 is what I'm talking about right now. And that was including like the breakfast stuff and the Bishop Fries stuff. And that's 5 years ago tomorrow, which is August 9th, 2021 tomorrow. I was not allowed to film at that arcade. I did anyway. I filmed about 30 minutes. There was this nice old man, nice old Chinese man who told me, no filming allowed. And he was a nice guy, and I was trying to, abide to the rules, but I couldn't resist. I filmed about 30 minutes of footage, not to like oppress him or nothing. Um, that Chinese man, nice man, would gladly greet him and all that. Nothing personal. There was no way I wasn't gonna get any footage. And I got about 30 minutes of footage, and I even got on camera my uncle saying, "Hey, don't video in here. The fellas they don't." Just golden, man. And that was a nice fun time at the arcade. Oh, when I actually misplaced my one of my play cards. I left it at the Batman whack-a-mole thing. Um, and I was like, oh shit, where's my card? Then oh shit, it's still here. It's right here. I'm so lucky, aren't I, that nobody grabs it. uh, and then yeah, and then I think it was then that we went back to a hotel, had a rest, and then it was time to see Suicide Squad in IMAX. To this day, my first and only IMAX experience. That's because there's only one IMAX cinema in New Zealand, and it was at the city that we were at. Suicide Squad, you know, even if I watch it now and find flaws in it nowadays, it still means a lot to me. I will tell you straight up, I had a blast watching this in cinemas. The Joker, by far my favorite character of the film. I had a blast watching the film. Everyone else had a blast. Well, my uncle thought it was just alright, I think. Even on camera, he didn't want to be filmed, and I was like, what do you think of the Suicide Squad? And you could see him say, don't film me. And, love you, Uncle Puppy. And Bishop thought it was awesome, and he said his favorite characters were Deadshot and Harley Quinn. And, that was awesome. My favorite character by far was Joker. I could not stop thinking about Joker and how awesome and charismatic he was. And I still want to see, at least, if we never get him back as Joker, at least we got him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and at least we saw him interact with Batfleck finally. And then we went to Burger King after this film, and right outside the cinema, there was a guy laughing like the Joker. And Make-A-Wish, they had a surprise for us. They had a couple surprises during the trip, actually. Make-A-Wish, they had bought us free popcorn and drink for us. And it was just me and my uncle who shared that free popcorn and drink. It was one drink. But me and him, we had the same big-ass popcorn bucket. It was a huge, big-ass popcorn bucket, man. It was glorious. Damn, thank you so much, man. Make-A-Wish are the best. Seriously. Probably the only charity I'll donate to now. Especially after I was, backstabbed last year by someone I donated money to for his fucking surgery. Unfriending cunt. But hey, we had to talk about good stuff here. So and then went to sleep, and it was the main event day. And I've told this story a billion times, but I promise you, I never get tired of telling this story. Alright, I've mentioned it. Should I even mention it? We pretty much just chilled all day. We did have breakfast at the hotel. I remember being full as heck from eating so much breakfast food. And then we pretty much just chilled all day until it was time for the WWE event. And I'm not gonna lie. The moment I met John Cena really overshadowed like the actual show so much for me, because I met John Cena before the show started. But another surprise that Make-A-Wish left for us was a Humazine. Oh my gosh, that was I'm so thankful you got my reaction in the video of my reaction to the Humazine. Glorious, like, and rip R.I.P. and peace to headphone users to my reaction of that, and yeah, it was amazing. And then we went to the arena, and the awesome Make-A-Wish guy there, Jordan. Is anyone excited to meet? And then John Cena came in. I've told this story a billion times. John Cena came in, and when I saw John Cena in person, I literally thought it was a guy dressed as John Cena for a split second. Like, I think like my mind was trying to register that it was actually him. You know what? And Bishop's reaction, he was like, "Oh, for real?" And then this is so cool. John Cena, he was walking around the room saying, "Hi, everybody," and he literally stopped to talk to me like, "Hey, oh man, he actually did that for me." Oh my gosh! Like, this is awesomeness overflow, man. And he came out to me to shake his hand, and I just ran up to him and gave him a big ass hug, and he was cracking up laughing. He hugged me back, and he said, "Do you have any questions?" And I said, "I love you," and everyone cracked up laughing, and then we took photos together. First, just me and him together, and then all of us took photos of him, and then after that, he said, "It was great to meet you, my friend. So I am officially one of John Cena's actual friends." All right, John, SummerSlam, win the Universal Championship, please, please, manifesting that in the universe. But yeah, and then he, took photos with everyone else. I was, you know what? It went differently than I imagined in my head. In my head, I imagined, "Hey, what's up, John? Man, I'm such a huge fan." But when I actually came, I was freaking out like nothing. Oh my gosh! And then one of the other Make-A-Wish kids' moms said to me, "Are you all right?" Like when we went outside, and I was just, oh my gosh. And then even John himself said to me, "I guess I don't have to guess who your favorite WWE superstar is, huh?" And he was just, it was the awesomest guy to me, man. Yeah. I really wish like I had it in me to like have actually asked him questions. Some questions I had in mind was like, how does he deal with the hate from these wankers, who give him shit all the time, and also like I wouldn't have said wankers though, of course. Another question I had in mind that I only like thought of like as theory. Like, I wasn't actually going to ask it, but I kind of cracked up at the thought of asking him, does Nikki Bella do twin magic in bed? And I know they're not together anymore. It's unfortunate. Nikki Bella's shirt right here, y'all. Love her still. But another question I wanted to ask him was, what was going through your mind through your match with RVD? And yeah, and I probably would have told him, man, what I really wish I told him was, man, I want you to win. Like, I want you to break the record, and I want you to become Intercontinental Champion. I wish I had told him that. I really wish I had. But yeah, that was just 5 months before he tied the record. 16-time world champion. No one deserves it more. All right, and of course I'm hoping he breaks it at SummerSlam. Win or lose, though, I cheer for John Cena at SummerSlam 2021. Win or lose, I do not regret cheering for him. And I feel like it's going to be an amazing match nonetheless. So excited. Main event of SummerSlam. No, it's amazing because Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair is happening at SummerSlam, which is amazing because that was the main event of night one of this year's WrestleMania. And that is a mid-card match. A match that was the main event of WrestleMania is a mid-card match compared to John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. The main event. This looks like it could be the best SummerSlam ever. I'm not even joking, man. But yeah, and then the event started. I won't lie, my experience, like actually watching the show, wasn't the best. There was this guy right in front of us who kept putting his little shit son up high to see the event at my expense. There was this other guy when all of us were seated. One guy, of course, it had to be directly in front of me, was still standing up. And also, like, a lot of times the wrestlers, they went outside the ring. And a lot of us couldn't see what the heck was going on. But it was so awesome to see, like, all these wrestlers in person. Like, it was kind of crazy. It was like, wow, like, Apollo Crews, he's actually a real thing. You know what I mean? It was insane. It was like I went into, like, it was almost like the movie Lost Action Hero or something, when, like, I actually went in and saw the real characters. It felt like that, you know what I mean? Make-A-Wish, man. 5 years later. And then, of course, we went to, went back to the hotel after the show, and then I called my mom at midnight, told her, Mom, I met John Cena, and she was like, oh my god, and that was just awesome, man. And then, the day after we went home, and, we did stay at, like, kind of stay for a few minutes at Bishop's house before saying goodbye. And, yeah, 5 years later, Make-A-Wish, so, yeah. This went way longer than I thought it would, but worth every second, y'all. Like I said, I did film, you know what? I can't believe I forgot about this. There's me and the GOAT. Me and him. Alright. As I said, y'all, I did film everything for the trip. So glad I did, because every time I rewatch that video, it feels like I'm there at that trip again. There's going to be a link to that trip, to that video in the description below. Check it out, y'all. You'll have a blast. 5 years later. Holy crap, man. Now let's get my papers back together. Thank you so much, Make-A-Wish, man. You guys are the bomb. Don't care what anyone says. Praying, I know I'll get more trips like this again in the future. Eventually. Like I said, 2025. I feel it. I feel like in 2025, when I'll be turning 27, we'll get more trips like that. Thank y'all for watching. Again, link to the whole trip video in the description. Thank you for watching. And, yeah. I'm your boy, Mark. And, hope you love this video. Like I said, 2 videos tonight. First was my top YouTube crushes, and now this. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Peace out, y'all.